Hello everyone, how we doing tonight? Hello Twitter. Hello Twitch. Hello whatever streaming platform this is today. How is everyone tonight? Hopefully everyone's having a lovely day. Make sure that my going live tweet went off here. And we'll get started in on things. Cool. We already got stream readers going. And let's see, are the timers all on? They are not. Awesome. So, taco salad tonight. Gonna start by making my own tortillas. Start with the tortilla dough, and I'm gonna fry up my own tortilla shells. Hopefully we got enough oil. Let's see what we can do. Got beef defrosting on the back stove there. That's what that is in the pot there. And lots of veggies tonight. Lots of veggies tonight. So, should be a good one. Got a bowl full of veggies here, actually. But we're starting with dough. And I believe I sent that over here. Start off with some flour. Good old AP flour. Let's do 2 cups. The recipe's for double this, but I think that's probably enough. How many tortillas is this supposed to make? Yeah. No thanks. We don't need that many. This should still give us around 12. Which, we're making... I'm going to try and make 2 shells just to make sure I get one nice one. And then the rest I think I'm going to turn into tortilla chips. Since we're doing guacamole tonight. And so we'll do 2 big tortillas and the rest of them like smaller, almost like taco size. Like corn tortilla taco size. Salt. MSG. I'm going to add pepper in mine. Pepper will make it look like it's almost white corn. It's not though. Little onion powder. Hey, word! Weird word. Not sure how that's pronounced properly. Glad to have you. We're doing an extra night tonight. I'm doing 5 days a week here in April because it's food and drink week here in Twitch. So, all those yummies together. A little garlic powder, a little onion powder, black pepper, salt, AP flour. We need little lard. I'm going to use bacon fat. Yeah, that's maybe a bit light. A little more. Last thing's baking powder. Exact measurements here. And then we're just going to work this lard into the flour until it's basically like cornmeal almost. You want to almost not be able to tell that there's fat in this anymore, other than that it's a little bit more chunky. Then we'll add water. Oh, is dinner command not firing? Why is dinner command not firing? Ooh. Let me go investigate why dinner button isn't working. Or dinner command. I guess that's because the weird computer is turned off. Decided to shut itself off for some reason. Crazy Microsoft. And then it didn't work. There we go. Okay, so I'm happy with that for the flour. Now we need to add water. We need 1.5 cups of water, which we're going to do half of that, so 3/4 of a cup of water. Refill my water jug while we're here. Gonna need that later. Actually, speaking of that, my water cup isn't up here in the front for the stream either. I am just not prepared tonight. I'm just going to knead this until it comes together. Making my own chips, making my own tortilla bowl. Doing it all. Going to be doing ground beef for the meat. I got tons of fresh greens from the farmer's market for our salad. Gonna make some fresh guacamole. Some, and then I got sour cream. Forget all what else we got going on here. But we got a nice stream planned tonight. Okay. I'm gonna allow that to rest. Hey, Bun Buns. Welcome in. So we'll set that up there just to hang out for a little while. See how our meat's looking back here. Oh, and I'm already skipping a step. I forgot I was planning to do that. That sounds like a good plan. I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. Because it's been a minute. We're not going with this. But I need to grind a little bit fresh. Which is unfortunately just off camera. If you're wondering what I drink, I use a local blend. A light roast. I've actually been pretty big into yerba mate the last... it helps if I'm actually measuring what I'm putting in there. But I've been drinking lots of yerba mate lately. Yep. That's basically there. back together. Battle already. Battle already. Let's do our battle. For anyone unfamiliar, I do stream raiders here on stream. You can join in. Oh, let's do add a spell. Nice! Nothing but chests left. Rewards time. Victory. Entropy stealing all those kills away with those arrows. Not that I really mind. Entropy gets the scrolls. Congrats. We're gonna stick with the bottom route here tonight. And we'll do that in 30 minutes. Waiting on the water to boil. We got the kettle going over here. We got our ground beef nice and defrosted now. I bought a big pack of beef and split it up into a couple of bags. That was a while ago, but it's been nicely frozen since then. But yeah. Did I use the last of that up? I do believe that I did. Okay. Sugar in the raw, because I take my coffee with some sugar, and I usually take it with just a hint of half and half, like real half and half. It's really just for that fat content. I really could care less about the rest, but I literally only need like a drop of good half and half. You want to make sure that not only comes to a boil, but it stays at a boil for a moment. and then returns down below a boil. Hey SoCal, how you doing tonight? Ready to eat? So am I. I'm hungry. I already got tortilla dough started. Making a little coffee, which I intended to start the stream off with. And gonna be doing both tortilla chips with that dough, and I'm going to be making some big tortillas to turn into fried tortilla bowls for our salad tonight. Got cilantro, green onion, couple aromas, some red onion, or I said green onion, red onion, couple jalapenos, couple avocados. Almost there. That's a good cup of coffee to me. Now, if it had a little cream, a little fat in there, get a lot more bubbly, a little bit more of a finish to the top of it. But I'm going to enjoy that just the same. Okay, what's next on our list? Beef. Beef. Moo. Heating up the fry pan and back here. See what we got here. I'm feeling, yeah, that bag's just gonna come right out. Yeah, I don't want all of this blood. It'll coagulate and be good flavor, but until then, it's just going to keep us from cooking our beef faster. It's going to fall apart if I tried to pull it out of the bag, and so I'm going to cut the bag. That way I can season it in place and throw it in the pan as one big slab. Add a bit of sunflower oil to our pan. Start off with a heavy dose of salt. I know this isn't the most beautiful piece of beef in the world, but like I said, it's been frozen previously. As far as I know, you should be able to hear me. Yeah, you might want to check the viewer. Twitch likes to sort of randomly shut off the sound in the viewer, at least from my experience. You can go ahead and start throwing spices in here. We're going to need some garlic and onion powder. Gonna need some cumin, since we're talking taco spice. Go sort of heavy with the cumin too. Do ancho chili. And New Mexico chili. Thank you for that resub, Shadow. Welcome in. How you doing this evening? What's new? What's happening? Lastly, we'll finish up with a healthy dose of cayenne, since we're doing Spicy food. Need a little heat too. Good, good. Glad to hear, Shadow. May as well turn on the fan and close the bedroom door so we get a smoke alarm going on. We still trucking, Shadow, or what are we doing these days? And of course we'll hit this with a bit more salt to the other side. Some MSG, help that savory power. And some regular black pepper too. And again, this thing takes forever to... I like a lot of pepper, so I grind it a lot, but this grinder's pretty slow to grind pepper too. That there is. I actually honestly think that they've flooded the market with so many games at this point that, yeah. Can of refried beans. That's certainly true, SoCal. But yeah, I just don't really see that many even getting to that point anymore either. Losing too much moisture here. We need our beef to cook, not to simmer. These peas or those peas? Corn. We want corn. Corn! Yeah, it takes so much to break in, and you need to have so much marketing into it. I mean, look at how much they had with Cyberpunk. The amount of marketing that went into that game. Had a fair amount of corn. Really just using up the rest of this bag, to be honest. That's going to add some more moisture to our beef, which will help with the refried beans, because I don't really want it to be refried bean thick. And I'm also sort of combining all three of these for my convenience too. That way we just have our meat layer along with all of our veggies that we can layer. Yeah, that's true too. And it was forced out because they had to, as far as money. If they delayed it again, they were going to lose too much money. And yeah. Lard. That's fine, I can use this with lard. Since this has got lard in it, probably. Well, it's Amy, so it's vegetarian. But... and black bean refried beans, not pinto refried. Most refried beans are typically pinto beans, which are the larger kidney-sized beans. This is black bean. I haven't tried it before. Not bad. I honestly have not been that overwhelmed. Amy's is I don't know how, I think they're nationally carried in supermarkets. But they are actually a Sonoma County company. They actually have a vegetarian fast food restaurant here in Sonoma. I don't think that's expanded beyond this one space. That's pretty good. I haven't had a huge... I haven't been favorite of a lot of the past Amy's products. Oh, I gotta catch up on chat here. Well, thank you for checking it out today, SoCal. Yeah. Cyberpunk was just a disaster. I sort of did this ahead of time because it's something that I can just sort of hot hold from this point. I don't have to worry about having the beef done. It's done. Now we can relax and make our tortillas, prep all of our salad stuff, make our guacamole. Still could use a touch more salt. I actually want to use a little bit more heat with that too. So I'm going to add a little bit more cayenne pepper. Sort of tempted to add a little more cumin too, but I added quite a bit of cumin. I don't want to overwhelm it. Okay, we'll turn the heat down on that to essentially bare minimum. We're going to have to move this around as we go here, because that's where we're going to be doing our frying. Let's get out our salad. Don't know what that's doing on the floor there. Oh, I gotta make a salad dressing too. Totally forgot on that. Totally spaced on that. But I'm trying to use up the pea sprouts that I have, so we're going to add some of those into this. Maybe even add a few more as garnish, but we've got plenty of things to use for garnish as it is. This dish is almost like half garnish as it is. Then we got our spring mix, which is probably, oh, we got some pea sprouts in here too, but we'll go overboard on the pea sprouts tonight. Fresh Farmers Market goodies. we can throw that in there. Throw a little leek in there. And we got another bag back here that I need to somehow extricate from this refrigerator. So we're adding all the veggies in the world to this dish tonight. We got some sort of sad looking old celery here. We got some leek that we can add in there. I'm just going to use the lazy parts of the leek and not have to worry about cleaning it perfect. My knife out here. Don't want the leaves in there. They'll help turn things bitter, but we'll use the rest of the stalks. No one biting on the scramble tonight. See, our part of the leek that's still good, but is very dirty, is likely going to be in that section. If you look, this is all nice and tightly packed. There's not going to be dirt in between those leaves. Although I am going to peel the outer layer of this off. Hey, we did get a little dirt in there, even still. Anyone check the new racing scene out with what is it? I forget the name of it already. But the new off-roading racing series with all the Formula One people involved. I thought it was quite interesting over last weekend. I didn't really talk about it much on Sunday, but I did watch it. Oops, neglecting my beef. turn that heat down all the way down. And let you see the board, which I should have done before. We got our celery, we got our leeks, got our salad with our pea sprouts in there. I don't mind raw onion. I understand if other people do. So I'm going to put a little raw onion in my salad. The rest of this is going to go into the guacamole. Battle! Battle! You should go to battle. Ah, I get to do this one alone? No help? This is gonna be rough solo. Thank you for your help, Campbell. Let's try it this direction this time. Let's keep it over here. They changed up what the mobs were. See how we do in 30 minutes. Getting ahead of myself there with the green onions. Actually getting ahead of myself with the red onion. Hey, Mando! Nice. What you making for yourself tonight? Nice. Doing pretty good tonight. Feeling pretty good tonight. Feeling much better than I did the other night. Although, I was feeling great when I started the other night, too. Just out of the blue, just started feeling horrible. Absolutely. You too, Mando. Thank you for stopping by. What, slicing it in the skin? Works great, and the skin is like practically leather hard, so it's pretty safe to do too. The hard part is dealing with the pit. This part is a little dangerous. You might even be able to hear it against the skin. Not the skin or the core. But now you can definitely hear that. Just the spoon against it. want to use that for this, or yeah, why not? We'll get this dirty. And then to make it not also uniform after I made those nice squares, we're going to mash this up a little bit and make sure it gets all coated with that lime juice so that it doesn't oxidize. Actually going to turn the heat off on that for now. Here's the avocado with a fair amount of salt. Actually, the majority of the salt for our whole dish here, because it needs the most salt in my opinion. Yeah, I add it to everything. It's wintertime, so we're not going to have pretty tomatoes to begin with, but these aren't all that pretty either. They're just basic Romas. Take the stem out.
I've been doing it for a little while as far as chopping. Don't do near as much cutting anymore. Take a couple of these stems out of the party. I like cilantro. I'm not one of the cilantro adverse out there. I don't use a ton of it though. I don't like lots and lots of cilantro. That's a bench knife or a dough knife. Some people will call this a dough knife too, depending on what you're talking about. But this more, to me, is more like a biscuit knife. I use that primarily for cutting butter into flour, like you would for a biscuit recipe. Okay, is there anything else we're adding into this deliciousness? Oh yeah, a little garlic powder. Perhaps should have gotten a third avocado for this, but otherwise, I'm happy with the way this is looking. I use the bench knife not only because it's a little bit safer for things like this on the board. I do. But because using your knife, a lot of people use their knife like a spatula, and they'll slide it against their board. Sliding your knife against that wood, against that grain like that, it's just about the worst thing you could do to dull your blade when it comes to normal use of your knife. I mean, yeah, if you're cutting open packages with it, that's going to dull it quicker too, but as far as chopping things, just don't use it as it's too handy to use that way, and you shouldn't be. Okay, so also for our salad, we need a couple of radishes. Yep, I'm like I said, I'm doing extra days here this month because it's Food and Drink Month in Twitch. But my normal schedule is Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And those are just happen to be the same days as farmers markets here in Sonoma County. And so the plan is normally in non-COVID world, I would just go to the farmer's market in the morning, pick up what was interesting, and do dinner. Since COVID had happened, I've been keeping an extended pre-planned menu going and have been buying bi-weekly pre-packed boxes from my local farmers. Like, this is all local farmer produce right here. But I got the greens from the same farm. So I'm still trying to support local farms, but I'm not going out near as much. Now that I'm vaccinated, and actually tomorrow I'll be 2 weeks vaccinated, be able to do that a bit more here. But Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, I can do a large meal and leftovers the day after. Usually turns out pretty well that way. Don't have anyone else to really help with here, so it's actually probably the primary thing keeping me from streaming 5 days normally is what am I going to do with all that fucking food? Thank you. Let's give that a rinse off. It was a thick one. The salad I'll mix and I'll skip the dressing, and then I'll do the dressing for the individual days, but we'll do the salad for both days here. Just turned out to be a pretty massive salad here. But I got the veggies to use. These carrots are so much more flavorful than just about any other. I thought I had caught myself there. It's just a piece of radish. Way more flavorful than anything you find at a supermarket. So much better. I feel that way about celery too. I complain about supermarket celery all the time. I think supermarket celery tastes like dirty water. So sweet. So sweet. So this is basically our salad. We got our guacamole. We'll set these off to the side here. Get rid of these carrots over by my computer for some reason. I put over there for who knows why. Coffee break. Is everyone staying hydrated? Okay. Next steps. We got guacamole. Got the jalapeno done. Radish, all that good stuff. Tortillas. Back to doing tortillas. So we'll move our meat off to the side. And bring our cooking oil over here. I'm going to actually raise the level of the oil there. This is still the same oil that I used on Sunday. But we need it high enough to make a taco shell here. Wow, my stove is pretty much a mess tonight, isn't it? Let's give that a quick wipe down. Ooh, battle time. Let's see if we do it this time.
Battle. We shall go to battle. That'll handle the last of that. Nice. Victory. Campbell getting the kills. Explosion and Campbell's getting the scrolls. Congrats. Ooh, goodies for me. Should go check out my army and see what I can get for scrolls right now. Flag bearer, archer, barber. Why not? And yeah, I don't really want to do any of those either. So we'll leave the rest of that. Army, no upgrades. Okay. So on to the next battle. Let's see how we do. Okay. Back to do. Turn that down to a boil temp there. And actually, I'm going to put the meat back here. We're going to pull out the flat top for this side. So we got the meat in back, got the oil heating up for our frying a bit later. Just move my handle here so I don't bump it at all. And then we got our flat top here that I'm going to start pre-warming for cooking our tortillas. Why, hello there, Miss Lisa Face. How are you? Interesting. No shout out for you today for some reason. I'm going to give this a couple more needs. Hey, Zen Mobius. Well, I'm doing taco salad tonight. Not necessarily just taco. Those looking pretty nice now, though. We got our salad started for probably 2 days here. We got carrots, radish, red onion, celery, leek, fresh greens, pea sprouts. So that's going to be the base of our salad. We got guacamole. And back here we've got ground beef with black bean refried beans and corn. We got our oil for frying our... I'm going to try and do a bowl. I'm sort of thinking that I'm going to do more like a C, though. If you can picture that being like a rectangular one that I'm putting under the oil rather than a circular one. And then we're going to do regular size ones for the rest. So these two I'm going to turn into hopefully rectangular sized. Let's switch over here. Pub tacos. Nice. Just a little rolling flour. I'm going to roll these out obviously nice and thin. It's been a minute since I had Dos Equis. Yeah, you're not really supposed to do that. That's sort of frowned upon in the baking world. Sort of sweeping the table there for flour, which is... I mean, it's the first time I'm doing it on a clean table, so that's why I'm justifying it to myself, but if you're doing a bunch of stuff on the counter, sweeping the counter is not a good plan. So let's try that for our first one. I know the sun is sort of killing the view at this angle right now. It's sort of the wrong time of day to be doing this right now. I'm doing quite lovely tonight, Miss Lisa Face. Certainly much better than I did the other night. But then again, I was feeling alright to begin the other night. That's looking all right.
We're gonna do smaller ones for the rest. How we doing on temp over here? We're still pretty low. How we doing on temp on our oil? 200-ish? This also has no, I don't know if you're still lurking around there, weird Fifi. But this also is not sharp in any form. This is just a piece of metal. It's actually dulled down. It's a flat edge. This isn't rolling out almost as large as the other ones, and it's less dough by quite a bit. Oil up our flat top here a bit. Steal a little oil from our fry oil here. Just a light coat, that's all you need. I mean, it's already cast iron non-stick for the most part, but a little oil. Just proper dough making. I mean, it's nothing but flour, fat, and a little water. Good flour helps. Fresh flour helps everything. Working the dough enough that you get the gluten a little bit going. I mean, I didn't hugely knead these, but there's a little kneading going on there. It's a little too large for the pan, so like the edges here are still raw. Oh. Should probably do that so you can see what I'm doing over there. But I think that will fit actually pretty well over here. You know, you squeeze it down in there. Turning this multiple times since it's a little large for the flat top.
Starting to get some bubbling, starting to get some very light color.
So honestly, that just may be dirt. Cast iron hay.
Making these? Other than rolling them, yeah.
I mean, if you got yourself a press, it should be relatively easy.
Yeah, Google. I'm complaining to Google about my own reminders to myself. It's time to take out the trash for the week. But I made tortillas at home for the first time last year, and I've been hooked ever since. I have not bought... I take that back. I have bought tortillas at the store once, but I pretty much only make tortillas at home nowadays when it comes to flour ones. Corn ones, I sort of feel like I can't do justice to doing a fresh masa. If I could find myself a locally made, properly done masa, which is sort of a complicated process because you're using lye to remove the outer skin of dried corn. Which it's a long time process, and you use that in several things when it comes to baking world. Like, that's how you get proper pretzels too. And as long as you bake it or you wash it off, it's not a big deal. Judging on where to cook this more on the color, it's sort of see-through-ish / slightly darker up here through the center edge over here. I'm sort of judging that as being the slightly undercooked areas. But one, it's not a process that I want to take lightly here at home. It's not something that I want to jump into without being like dedicated into it. And it's something that takes time. And at least at this point in my life, I'd much rather pay someone else to do that time right now. There's not many things that I prefer having other hands do than my own, but... They don't have to be round since we're using them for chips anyways, but... See, this is what I normally do. I come over here and I start rolling again, and then I forget that I have a tortilla back there and I end up burning the tortilla. So let's make sure I don't burn the tortilla this time. You see, it's right on the edge, too. Actually, let's do that up there. Need a little bit more cooking up there. Otherwise, that one's pretty much done.
Homemade tortilla. Good stuff. So I'm going to roll this one out and then we'll start the next one. Allow the cast iron to heat up a little bit more. Regain some of that heat because I don't have it on super high because cast iron keeps so much heat. Steam burns, be careful. Slightly to a boil here, so we're maybe a bit warm. I'm going to turn that down a bit. Yeah, we're 300-ish on our oil there. It's a little slow going here getting our tortillas done. But I want to be careful with the ones that I'm making into bowls. At least, especially the ones I'm planning to make into bowls. Which are 2 of them. The rest of them are going to be chips. Hi, I have an art degree. Thank you for that raid. Welcome in, raiders. Hi, I'm Jason. I cook here on stream 3 nights a week normally. We're doing 5 nights a week here in April. Doing taco salad tonight. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So right now I'm currently working on cooking some tortillas, which I will soon be frying over here. It's warm. I don't know why I'm touching that. We have up here black beans, ground beef, and corn. Already cooked up, ready to go. We got our tortillas, like I said, I'm working on here. This one looks like a good number 2. So we got our first 2 tortillas that I'm going to try and fry and turn into a taco bowl, taco tortilla bowl. And then the rest of these I am going to fry up as tortilla chips. We've got another 2 more to roll out after these. We've also got guacamole here already pre-made up. And our base of our salad, we got carrot, radish, red onion, leeks, celery, pea sprouts, and lettuce mix. Well, thank you for the raid. If anyone else is still hanging out here and wants to let me know what I have an art degree has been making lately. I don't know, are you still working on that same large portrait that I saw last time with you? It's been a minute since I've caught your stream. Sorry the sun's not the greatest for this tonight. It's a little too bright where I'm rolling these out. But I can't control the sun that much. If I could, I'd get rid of daylight savings time. Nice! Yeah, that was quite a big undertaking. Should be, I hope you're happy with it. Especially since I think you said you're going to be hanging on your own wall. That's cool. I didn't know there was a Nancy Drew game. I mean, it makes sense, but... Okay, so we're all rolled out now.
Battle! Stream Raiders battle time. See how we fare. No problem. Victory. Edgy Hercules getting those kills. Quiet J with the scroll. Congrats. Sticking with the bottom level for those chests, and that I think there's a loyalty there. Either a loyalty or a gold chest. Might want to put a rogue out there. I'm not sure what goes after this. If there's a character that goes after this, if you notice when you hover over the different characters in your army, you'll notice that certain NPCs or mobs on the playing field will have exclamation marks. And those are the ones that particular character is going to target right off the bat. And so, if anyone's got one for that one, there, we can maybe put one of those up there, but the rest of them would say, mess up around me. And we'll do this in 30 minutes. Newest tortilla for our chips. This song reminds me of Gem Finally Awoken, if anyone's familiar with that song. It's only a couple of notes off. This part here. Da, da, da. Okay, I can't just stare at this. I gotta eat some of this. It's going into chips anyways. And here we have the Breakfast Club. Or Charles in Charge, or absolutely 80s sitcom.
see where oil is at now. We want it around 350. 320 is not bad. Let's get my ladle out. You're gonna need my ladle for this project. My big ladle.
Hi there.
Need my big boy ladle. I handle that entire guacamole batch in one ladle. 24-ounce ladle. Oh, another raid.
Welcome, Raiders. Welcome in. Glad to have you. How is everyone this evening? What were we cooking tonight, Barbecue Kyle? We're doing Taco Tuesday today, but I'm doing taco salad. So we've got our salad already made. We got carrots, radish, some leeks, some onions, some celery, pea sprouts, veggie mix. That's our salad base. We got some fresh guacamole. I'm working on making some fresh tortillas here on the stove. Got the oil going so that I can do my tortilla bowl for our salad. We got in the back here, we got black bean, refried beans, and corn and ground beef that's seasoned. So we're working on getting things together here. We're getting close. But welcome in. How is everyone this evening? I'm Jason. I normally stream here on Twitch Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Right now, this month of April, Food and Drink Month here on Twitch, I'm doing 5 days a week. So I'm doing Taco Tuesdays and Pizza Saturdays. Although I'm sort of doing Taco Tuesday today. Anyone new into the channel, I do weekly challenges in my Discord. We have the current winner of the vote is eel. So tomorrow night I'm going to have to do eel for dinner and dessert. And I'll start a new vote off then. That'll last next week. You can see some of our past ones in here if you join into the Discord. Last week was Vegemite. I've done plantains, corn dogs, canned green beans, black garlic, seasonings of various types, charcoal, ramen, cheese puffs, KFC chicken, all sorts of things in the past year. And do this once weekly. I've been doing it about 25 weeks now, 26 weeks, something like that. You can feel free to make your own suggestions in this channel down below it. The ones with the most votes get selected for the next week's vote. Also here in the Discord we have general chat, which is the walk-in. I'm a little bit of Formula 1 nut, so we got some chat there about Formula 1 and other similar racing. And all the other typical lovely food pics and community channels. We have a Rooster showing off his chips and what else was he making? His fries from yesterday, and it looks like chicken or pork there. You have my cordon bleu from last Sunday, pizza from last Saturday. You have Obe doing his contributions. All good food porn. But, go ahead and check it out. If anyone wants to join in on the server, I'm going to have to give them permissions to the rest of it, which will probably happen after Discord, after the channel. Yeah. After the stream. Words. But I'm doing pretty well, Barbecue Kyle. Kyle, how are we today? What were we cooking tonight?
That one looks sort of light on that side, but it got some decent cooking.
Currently working on making tortillas here. It's a little slow going. I'm brushing a little more oil on the pan there. And I got 2 more tortillas here to cook. Pretzel dogs. I was talking about pretzels earlier. Actually, I was talking about
Nixtamalization and how you have to use lye in order to make corn tortillas. But that's also how you make pretzels. You spray them with a light layer of lye on the outside of them before you bake them, and the baking action breaks down the lye. At least I believe that's it. But I actually made... Do I still have it? I think I went through it. Yeah, I finished it off. I actually made corn dog ice cream here 2 or 3 weeks ago for my ingredient challenge. And so that was an interesting time. I don't know it'll work so well with pretzel dogs, but with corn dogs, that light sweet cornmeal outside just spread throughout the entire ice cream flavor. And so you had little bits of meaty hot dog that were like smoky and savory, with the rest of the ice cream being this like sweet corn. It turned out really well. I was really impressed with it. Baking soda and water. I've not tried either method though I probably should make some pretzels someday. Should make myself some pretzel buns for doing burgers someday. Put our flour and rolling pin away. Pull some of the flour off the table here since we're done rolling. Not going to get it perfect until we get everything out of the way though. See if I can squeeze that other one on there at the same time. And it's going to be a tight fit. Let's just do them separate. This one's almost done anyways. Do have Stream Raiders going, as the sound indicated there, for anyone new into the channel. So if anyone would like to join the battle, we have another 16 minutes there for people to get their units on the field. Also have a word scramble in chat there. If anyone wants to type in !scramble, you can join in. All the words are culinary related, so they can maybe spawn a little conversation, although they are of all different languages of the world, so it's not just English. I made a custom dictionary for the game of all sorts of weird food words. Sprinkles are
you'll get 10 sprinkles. Not really enough to shake the world, but sprinkles are my in-chat currency for doing giveaways. I've done a giveaway at 500 followers, planning to do another giveaway at 1,000 followers, and in the future you'll be able to redeem them for potential chances at getting a gift card or a free sub. And additionally, you can use them to get onto the Hall of Fame cutting board back here that I'll be wood burning live on stream. Do apologize for the sunlight coming in here. It's just the perfect time of year, perfect time of day that it's streaking in through my main door. But for anyone new in here, I've been streaming for about 2 years now. It'll be in June or July. I'll have 2 years streaming. I've been streaming here on Twitch since July 1st. Gonna have to get creative with the eel tomorrow. The only eel that I think I'm gonna have available to me, words, is going to be Japanese eel, which is fresh water eel that's been prepared and cooked already. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find fresh saltwater eel. Apparently, I didn't know this until I started looking into this. Apparently, freshwater eel, and Japanese freshwater eel, the blood is actually poisonous unless it's properly cooked. And so it's against Japanese law to retail sale it without having been pre-cooked. Which is a fair number of things that are that way. It's not exactly the blowfish that has the poisonous toxin in it, but still makes the life a little interesting. And our last one. If you notice I keep switching from side to side here, it's because this is going to be the cold section of this with the burners there and there. And so I'm trying to get even heat over the entire piece. And I do apologize, I would be doing this over here on this side, but this thing doesn't work on that side. Though I do guess this camera has wandered. It used to be like right up tight against the switches here. These are turning out pretty nice. Nice and light brown. Toasty. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up these ones that I'm doing for chips into chips. Actually, let's wait. Let's do these first and make sure our bowls come out first before I chop them all into chips. even just those 2 pieces of this, I get a little bit of the pepper in there, and it's got a little bit of a bite. Let's see what our guacamole's like here. It's a good time. I can live with that. Let's see if we can't do this. Do a little multitasking. And try and put this in the oil here. Nice toasty bottom. Hey Perkinzone, how you doing today? Okay, we're doing okay on heat. I do want to wipe down this counter. I don't want all of this oil here.
And I do have the lid here handy in case I need to, just in case anyone's worried about. This is not exactly best setup for this. This is really something that should ideally be done in a deep fryer. How is this not cooked yet? Flames are off. I spilled too much oil there. I got scared by that. What I was doing there was more dangerous than I probably should have. There was too much oil going on. This pan was too full. And there's our second upside down bowl. So you got one for each day here, hopefully. Should hit these up with a little fine salt while we're at it. Fine salt for freshly fried things, since it sticks a little bit better than kosher. A little bit. You notice most of that fell off anyway still, but slightly better this way, I think. So although those to sit over here and stay nice, the rest of these we're going to chop up into chips.
Battle! To battle! Haste! Victory. Quiet J getting those kills. McMargo and Quiet J with the rewards. Congrats. And on to the next. I'm going to start on this side. See how we do. 30 minutes. So let's see what we get when we fry these up. But I gotta clean off our stove here a bit here. Gotta get rid of this oil so we don't start any fires here. Additionally, I'm gonna take this off of the stove, hide this away somewhere where it can stay and cool down. Actually, I don't really have a good place for this right now. Okay, move our meat and bean mixture back over here. That's already cooled down and solidified up pretty much here. We'll have to rehydrate that and warm that up again. But it's cooked. We got the major part of that out of the way. How we looking on temp here? 275. Meant to do that. Sorry for your ears. I'm going to lower the oil for this, for the chips.
So I'm going to take out a little bit and put it in another pan. Just so that our height on the oil isn't so high. We'll set that back there, cover that up, so you don't have to worry about that. Next we'll grab some squares here and see what we get. Oh, we gotta wait for this oil to be at the right temp. Yeah, we need another 50 degrees there at least. So why don't we rehydrate this while we're working on that? I need some water. So besides the refried black beans, beef, and corn, there's garlic powder, onion powder, 2 types of chili, a bunch of cayenne, a bunch of cumin. It still might not have been enough water. Pretty tasty. Turn the heat on that low. I'm about halfway there in the oil. Yep. Needs to happen. We need to shred some cheese here while we're waiting too. Just a little bit. Don't know what that is, so I'm going to cut it off. Did you know your cheese can be fuzzy and still be used? At least here in the States, the standard is if it's a solid block of cheese and there's mold on it, you can cut the mold off and use the rest. Which is why it's a good idea to leave your cheese in a whole block until the last time last moment you need it. Besides, how many times have you thrown out a bag of cheese that was just ever so slightly fuzzy when it was shredded? You have to throw out the whole thing. Oh, you can't see because stuff in the way. There's a pile of cheese there now. I'm going to mix that with another thing of mozzarella I did earlier last week. And we'll just pull off of the top for the salad. Still haven't made my salad dressing. Gonna have to cheat tonight because I didn't plan. There we go. That's more what we want. Turn the temp up slightly. Hit those with some salt. See what temp we're at now after 2 batches. Oh, we're doing fine. Oh yeah. Want to move them around a lot when you first put them in the pan because you don't want them to stick together. Which I'm only now getting to the point where I'm overcrowding the pan enough that I'm really seriously worried about that. The first couple of batches, it wasn't really a thing. Last batch, tortilla chips. Heat off on the tortilla chips. Or off on the fryer oil. Let me go those a little bit longer. A little more color. I tried to get them all. Couldn't get them all. There we go, fresh tortilla chips. Still warm. Oh yeah. Just gonna pour the other oil in here because this is colder now. So this will help cool this down. Put the lid back on that so we don't have to worry about the oil anymore. Come back and strain that tomorrow. So how we doing on beef? Where beef could use a little more heat. I've got it on a low flame, but the low flame was a little too low. So let's work on plate up. Figure out what we want to do here. To start, I think I'm going to want some green onion and cilantro for garnish. Oh, I got to make my dressing too. Keep forgetting that. But I have an absolute cheat in the house now because I got a new present. Well, I'm going to call it a present, but I bought it. I got some Kewpie. Japanese mayo. No MSG needed because it has MSG. Monosodium glutamate. Focus. Yeah. Monosodium glutamate. Good stuff. So cutesy how it comes in a bag when it's already bottled too. But the bottle doesn't have much on the outside of it too. I mean, it's got an embossment on it. But that'll do us. Refrigerator after you open it.
Garlic powder. Onion powder. I'm going to add a little bit of basil. Dried basil. Sort of light. Some thyme, dried thyme. Some mustard powder. A little sherry vinegar. And sour cream. See what other herbs I still got kicking around in the fridge here. I mean, we still got the cilantro, but I don't really want to throw the cilantro in this. Do I still have parsley kicking around? I do. Bottle. And chop the parsley first, and then we'll do battle. Parsley before battle. Let's give this all a mix up. Oh, did I hit this with salt, pepper, MSG? And so we have the quick and speedy version of not ranch. Another version of Jason's not ranch dressing. Again, I'm calling it not ranch because there's no dill in there. Just about everything else is there. Although I used sour cream and mayonnaise instead of the buttermilk and mayonnaise. Okay, so we got that. We can throw these back in the fridge. We got our meat nicely reheating. And turn that heat back down again now that it's up to temp again. Which of these do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this one. This one's a little bit greasier. I'm actually going to do a little bit of this action tonight. Clean up our area here a little bit. I'm going to mix my salad here with my dressing. I'm stealing most of the greens and leaving some of the filling here. So we got the toppings without all the lettuce. I got more lettuce that I can mix in there. That looks like a decent salad to me. Hey, Lexi. I don't like putting pans on my cutting board, but oh well. Oh, I guess I could have spiced this up since it was going to be a taco salad. But we got enough spice and everything else, I think. Add a touch more salt since our lettuce isn't seasoned. And so we'll start with our lettuce mix here. What did I do with all my hand towels?
Oh, let's do our battle real quick before we do this.
Do our last battle of the evening. Battle.
Why didn't dinner work? Why is my computer shutting off?
Victory. Chef JT getting those kills and those assists. McMargo getting the scrolls. Congrats. I think we'll call it there for tonight. We got our dinner pretty much wrapped up here. Let's go back to building this deliciousness.
So let's add our beef and beans and corn.
So we got that. We got that. We'll do a touch more cheese over the meat. We got our guacamole. And there we have dinner. I think this is one of those dishes that's going to look a lot more impressive from a different angle than this right now.
Nice word for weird for yeah. weird Fifi. Let's give you a main shot of all this deliciousness. So that's dinner. And there you go, Lexi. There's dinner. The dinner command working again because I had to restart my computer again for some reason. Anyways, thank you all for joining in tonight. Gonna go ahead and enjoy this. Tomorrow night we're gonna have eel, both for dinner and dessert. As I said before, gonna have to try that out. I'm not familiar with using Japanese eel. It's a new product to me, so the whole dinner should be interesting. And so also coming up, we have Friday, we have Chinese almond cookies. Gonna be doing a dinner along with that. Probably gonna use up those chicken thighs and legs that I have in the fridge, along with the almond cookies. Saturday we're doing pizza again. We got those 2 pieces of dough already pre-made up. Probably going to be a pretty quick stream on Saturday, but I will be here. Sunday we're doing cheese fondue. And next week we'll have Taco Tuesday and Saturday for pizza again. Challenge on Wednesday. Friday is going to be Eggs Benedict. Sunday is going to be egg salad. So thank you all for joining me. Let's see who we can give a raid out to. Oh, this sounds like a winner. I don't believe I've raided them before, but they are a member of Team Bone In. We're going to say hello to Can't Eat Onions, who is making imitation Cincinnati chili, which is a great dish that I tried for the first time a couple of years ago. Want to thank everyone once again for joining in. Go show them some love. I hope you all have a great evening, and I will be back tomorrow. Good night.